A new Fox poll showing 79% of voters think the open border is an emergency or at least a major problem. Texas Congressman Dan Crenshaw joins me now. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you for being here. So 79% of Americans think it's a major problem, at least, but no resolution on the border spending plan over the weekend. What's holding it up?
Yeah, well, 80% of Americans wanting border security. That doesn't surprise me at all. That shouldn't surprise anyway. What's holding it up? Well, Democrat senators don't have a ton of incentive to actually fix the border. Most of these people in these negotiations are from very, very blue states. They're going to get reelected. You need to have negotiators going straight to the White House and making a deal. That's what we did with the debt ceiling negotiation between the House and the White House, and that worked. Why does it work? Because Biden does have more of an incentive to make a deal because his reelection is definitely not guaranteed. And he knows very well that when 80% of the public wants a secure border and his policies are doing the opposite, well, he's got a political problem. So they have an incentive, and they have said this out loud. They have said this out loud multiple times. They have an incentive to give in, to compromise with Republicans on border security policy. So I don't know what we're doing in the House. I don't know why we're not sending negotiators straight to the White House. It can be a group of senators. It can be a group of House members. But we're the ones in the majority in the House. We have the leverage. The senators are doing the best they can. Hats off to Senator Langford. He's pushing exactly the right policies. He's holding those hard lines. But he has no chance because Senate Democrats will not give in. They have no incentive to do so. I've been screaming about this for probably 3 months.
Well, and it's not just Senate Democrats. I mean, you have the man at the table, DHS Secretary Mayorkas, has said there's no problem at the border. He said the border is secure. I mean, he didn't say there's no problem, but he did say the border is secure when it clearly is not. So how can a person who says that be a part of this negotiating process?
Yeah, and you wonder why we want to impeach him, right? So, well, The main issues are, it's not with CBP, right? You can't put more Border Patrol agents on the border and fix this problem. You can't just add more money to the problem and say it's going to be fixed. I mean, Biden requested $14 billion for the border. Well, that's all great, but that's not going to fix anything. You need to change policy. And so what the Senator Langford and we have proposed is, look, you have to change certain laws. You have to change the asylum laws. You have to make them more stringent. You have to make expulsion authority easier, similar to Title 42, but not related to health-related incidents. You have to make it more likely than not that when somebody crosses the border illegally, they're going to get deported back or they're going to get detained. They're not going to get released in the United States. If you do that, people will stop coming in mass. Or at least
they have to stay in Mexico while they're waiting for their asylum claims like they did during Trump administration. That was really key because there are all these phony asylum claims that really don't stick quickly. A lot of Democrats, including Congresswoman Debbie Dingell, who was on TV over the weekend, continue to say that this has always been a problem, the border, and there's not really that much different with what's happening now. Take a listen.
Border's been broken. It was broken under Donald Trump as well. Our immigration reform, we have needed comprehensive immigration reform for decades.
To say that it's sort of the same as it always has been just is not true. I mean, we know the numbers are extraordinarily more now. They're historic right now. How can Democrats continue to say that?
Because talking points are difficult habits to break. Debbie's a friend, and she's very sweet. We serve on the Energy and Commerce Committee together. But I deal in border issues. Most of these Democrats do not. And look, when they say comprehensive immigration reform, it's code for, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's move on. That's what that phrase is code for. It always has been. And it also usually, what it really means in detail is they want amnesty for 10, 20 million people who are here already illegally, and improved immigration pathways, legal immigration pathways, which that isn't that crazy, but we're not going to give amnesty to anybody. So look, you have to fix the border itself and the inflow, and then people can calm down and actually talk about what do you do with 20
million
people.
Maybe go to a merit-based immigration system, which was a suggestion by Donald Trump, which was a perfectly decent suggestion that even some Democrats are for. Just before this segment ends, I want to thank you for your service. It's during the holidays that the people in the service do the most. thank you for what you did for all those Christmases you weren't at home because you were doing your duty. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Good to see you again.